Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Foreign Office. Let me begin with Prime Minister Imran Khan's message of felicitations to President Xi Jinping of China on the occasion of centenary of the Communist Party of China. In his message, the Prime Minister highlighted that the founding of the CPC was a seminal event with far-reaching impact on the world history. The Prime Minister lauded CPC's efforts for the well-being of the Chinese people, particularly in the areas of poverty alleviation and economic development. He also appreciated CPC's role in nurturing Pakistan-China friendship and transforming it into an all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. Foreign Secretary Suhail Mahmood received a telephone call from US Under Secretary of State for Political Affairs Ambassador Victoria Nuland. They discussed bilateral relations and key regional issues. The Foreign Secretary underlined Pakistan's commitment to forging a broad-based and long-term bilateral relationship with the United States. Underscoring Pakistan's focus on geoeconomics, the Foreign Secretary highlighted the progress made by Pakistan in improving the ease of doing business and promoting a more conducive environment for foreign investments in Pakistan. Discussing the regional situation, the Foreign Secretary reaffirmed Pakistan's continued support for the Afghan peace process. He stressed that there was a fundamental convergence between Pakistan and the United States on the need for a peaceful settlement in Afghanistan. The Foreign Secretary also thanked the Under Secretary for the COVID-related support extended to Pakistan by the United States. The 8th round of Pakistan-Japan Security Dialogue was held in virtual mode. The Security Dialogue is a part of the comprehensive institutional framework of cooperation between Pakistan and Japan. The dialogue has two components, politico-military talks and military-to-military talks. During the dialogue, the entire spectrum of politico-military and defense and security relations between the two countries was discussed. The two sides exchanged views on diplomatic and security policies of both Pakistan and Japan, counter-terrorism efforts and cooperation between the two sides, disarmament and non-proliferation issues, and recent developments in the region. As a part of our continued efforts to enhance engagement with the Pakistani diaspora and to improve public service delivery, the Foreign Minister's portal for complaints and suggestions has been launched. In its pilot phase, the portal is available online for overseas Pakistanis and foreign nationals residing in the jurisdiction of 5 Pakistani diplomatic missions abroad, including Barcelona, Dubai, Jeddah, London, and New York. The Pakistani diaspora living in these jurisdictions is encouraged to use the portal to register their complaints and also share their valuable inputs. The scope of the portal will soon be expanded to all Pakistan missions abroad. Now, coming to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, we welcome the United Nations Secretary General's recent report titled Children and Armed Conflict. The report documents grave concerns of the United Nations Secretary General on the human rights violations of children in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The indiscriminate targeting of Kashmiris with pellet guns, causing excessive and permanent injuries, has been particularly highlighted in the report. We call upon the international community to take cognizance of the plight of oppressed children in IIOJK. We also urge India to immediately stop its illegal practices that are in contravention of its obligations under the international law. Pakistan strongly condemns the continuing Indian machinations aimed at denying the Kashmiri people their inalienable right to self-determination as enshrined in the relevant UN Security Council resolutions. The meeting held in New Delhi last week was yet another attempt by the BJP government to further marginalize the Kashmiri people, to perpetuate India's illegal occupation of IIOJK. The two representatives of the Kashmiri people, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, were not even involved in this futile exercise. The leadership of APHC has been clear in demanding the Kashmiris' right to self-determination in accordance with the relevant UN Security Council resolutions. It is evident from what has been said by the participants after the meeting that reversal of the actions of 5th August 2019 and full restoration of statehood is a unanimous demand. The meeting has also further exposed the falsehood of Indian narrative of so-called normalcy in the occupied territory. According to the biannual human rights report released by the All Parties Hurriyat Conference, since January this year, the Indian occupation forces have conducted 202 so-called cordon and search operations, destroyed 58 houses of the Kashmiri people, extrajudicially killed 57 innocent Kashmiris, and arbitrarily detained and arrested 350 Kashmiris. India must realize that despite applying all tools of oppression and using state terrorism as a policy, it has failed to subjugate the will of the Kashmiri people. It should now be clear to the Indian government that any steps that are aimed at bringing further illegal changes in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir will not be accepted by the Kashmiris and will also be resolutely opposed by Pakistan. Steps taken in the direction of just resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute as per the UN Security Council resolutions and wishes of the Kashmiri people are the only viable option and is the only recommended and advised course of action. I thank you very much and am happy to take questions on these or other foreign policy related developments.